Welcome everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Will the Party Stop a War? So to
Not if Missy keeps asking about daggers.
what is your sacred artifact? Tell me where it is. Oh, and maybe we don't want to fight in the war.
Maybe.
But your sacred relic, please give to me now. Last week, amidst dealing with Lord Virizion and his Shatai connection, we learned a lot of interesting things about the two sides in this war, the Dwarven Kingdom and the realm of the dragons. So on the Dwarven Kingdom side, we finally got to meet King Fafnir, who came from his high throne down this long staircase surrounded by lava to where the forges are, basically right down to where Mud and his daughter, Princess Astoria, were in the midst of a trial by stone. And the two of them were just literally banging the crap out of a piece of iron ore, trying to see who could make the biggest dent, take out the biggest chunk from it as a rite of passage. A lot of dwarves will go through this. And so the princess was using this as a way to, you beat me and you will be honored by the kingdom. When the king came down, he upped the stakes and said that the two of you do not break this stone, you will all die. Thus kind of telling us just a bit about the king's character. But Mud and Princess Astoria doing amazing roles of literally a combined power of like 64, broke this iron shard, or this iron mountain, this monument, and revealed a purple shard of crystal on the inside, which the king referred to as the Arkan Stone, something that he had been searching for generations. And finally, it was finally revealed. There are purple and green gems all around this location. Hopefully you all remember where you have seen purple and green gems in the past, as that is important. And of course, we remember that the dwarves are against Thonrar, or Thonis, as you all know him, believing that it's through his blood that they can fix what's happening to the realms. But because of the amazing acts of strength by Mud and his daughter, both Mud and the rest of her party, Yasin and Kieran, are safe and welcomed into the Dwarven Kingdom. And Kieran, remember, saw one of his people, one of the Genasi from Basalt,
known as the Yadari.
We had Estrella, Keladri, and Grim all trying to figure out the best way to talk with the two highborn dragonborn that they met. These very tall, very regal dragons, Lord Kellen and Lady Fair. With Lady Fair doing most of the talking. As you all kind of discussed and reached out through magic or through your own instincts, you learned that, well, one, they don't seem to be warming up to you very well. Two, the two of them, Lord Kellen and Lady Fair, are the two most powerful beings on the island. Any magical search, anything is dwarfed by their power. Lord Kellen spent most of the trip staring at Alexander dead on, as he can see into that realm. And it made Alexander a little uncomfortable and also a little feisty. Like, Alexander's on edge. Like, he's somewhere between, like, I want to kill him and, like, it's kind of hot that he sees me. Like, he's not sure where he feels on this, but there's a little bit of everything happening there. But at the very end of it, Hiccup literally leaving you alone for like a few minutes and comes up with like, what the hell's going on, guys? Why don't you just piss off our two ambassadors? You make it into the main chamber where the two large dragons you saw earlier from the ship descend and perch next to this throne where Hiccup's mother is the queen of the dragons. Wearing battle-hardened armor, a cape drenched in blood, sitting on a throne made of bones. So that's where we start tonight's episode. And we will start with the dragons. As we pick up with the dragons, with Keladri, Estrella, and Grim, Hiccup's mother has sort of come down off of the throne and has approached her son, and you notice that there is an uneasiness between the two. They're not embracing as a mother and son would. In fact, the words back and forth between them are very curt and matter of fact. Well, you know, mother, we're trying to avert a war here with dwarves, but there are bigger things to worry about. Hiccup, I understand what you're trying to do here, and I don't fault you for it. You have a good heart, but I'm not sure you fully understand what's going on, not just between King Fafnir, but with the tears in the sky. There's a fundamental difference between me and King Fafnir, and I don't think we can get around it. At the end of the day, he hates dragons. He hates everything that we're about, and he will wipe us all from the globe. I can't let something like that be near my people. You know, Mom, there was a time you considered Burke to be your people, too. And you still are, son. But you have to admit that with all these refugees from other worlds coming in and all these different dragon-like species, that perhaps maybe Burke should be siding with us in this fight. Because it will come down to war. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I brought you these three, hoping that we could find a way around this. Apparently, they have met with Thonis. We know him as Thonrar here. They told me that they've had dealings with him. Thought maybe you'd like to talk to him. Huh. Interesting. And you see the queen look at the three of you. Two of you are tieflings, if I said the name correctly. Yes?
Yes.
Ah, good. I'm trying to understand the new people in my kingdom. We don't have anything like you where we come from. No people with horns or so forth. But from what I understand, tieflings, their lineage hails from, well, demonic origins, demons, some would call them, but perhaps also draconic in nature. I believe tieflings share more in common with dragons than you might think.
So we totally froze for the first half of that.
Oh no.
Wondering why. I was wondering why Leah
You're
didn't
like-
say anything. I was like, yeah, we're tieflings. I was like, she's the
So,
only other one.
We were like, oh no, Chris froze, and then we looked at everybody else and we were like, oh no, we froze.
All right, so quick recap. Hiccup and his mother have been sort of quietly arguing back and forth about whether or not there could be peace with King Fafnir. He hates dragons, and Hiccup's mother is all about protecting the dragons. Hiccup's like, what about protecting our people? And so she's saying, hey, Burke should join our side. Like, that's really what it should be. Burke should be with the dragons. Problem solved. And then he mentioned that the three of you were on speaking terms with Thonis, and that's why he brought you to meet her, so that you could all talk more in depth about Thonrar, or Thonis, as you know him. And so she looked at the two of you, noticing that you're both tieflings, and she was talking about how tieflings have demon ancestry, but she feels that you're closer to dragons than you might think.
I guess I'm gonna bring up. Well, now I'm wondering what I should bring up. Um, I will. I guess say. I did make a connection with Toothless for
Oh,
just a little bit,
really?
and I don't know if that's normal or if that could be what you're talking about.
Well, normal, I'd say no. Not many can make deep connection with dragons, but you should consider yourself honored to have connected to such a mighty alpha as Toothless. He doesn't warm up to just everyone. So, and as she's getting ready to speak again, one of the dragons, the female dragon, she's all in white. The head just kind of swoops down very slowly. And this is when the head comes down to you, you realize that you are about the size of her nose, like the snout, just the up and down of the snout as it comes down. And she comes down right next to Estrella. And she just deeply breathes in and breathes in again. And you see the dragon turn to look at the queen, and the queen just nods and turns to look at you, Estrella. Are you traveling alone, dear?
Oh God. Oh, we should have talked about how much we want to reveal before we got here.
Too late.
It's too late. No.
Make it up for yourself. Do you want to talk about it?
No, I'll tell her, no, there's a group of us that kind of got thrown together. We've got some friends that travel with us.
Interesting. I figured the group might have been bigger than what it was, but I see that there's other two with you. No, this particular dragon female smells someone else on you. Are you alone, dear? Do you might have something delicious?
No, Crumb. No, jeez.
Oh,
I'm gonna sidestep in front of the dragon
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, hello, and kind of like push Estrella back a little.
Hold on, I have to have a spell for those.
Please don't kill me or get me killed because I'm in front of the dragon now.
Like spell, I didn't realize it escalated that quick.
I know. I was just like trying to like kind of like, hey, sidestep in front of her. Hi, dragon. And then she's like, what spell?
Hiccup's mother, the queen, she looks at what you're doing, Grim, and she holds up her hand. Aish, Tigan Mar Sororar. And you watch the female just go and shake her head and lean full back. She was speaking Draconic, by the way, the language of the dragons. And she looks at you and she goes, no need for alarm, I promise. She just noticed that one of you may have brought in a pet, something small and furry, and I mean, they're dragons, they do eat.
Oh, can I give her my biggest, saddest eyes?
Mm.
Biggest full eye contact. I'll tear up
Yep.
a little. Hold on.
Just be like, this is our dead friend's pet.
that's
Yeah.
an act right here.
I'm gonna tell her I didn't mean to offend them by bringing him in, but my dear friend passed, and this is all I have left of her, and he won't bother anybody. He's just gonna stay in my pocket, and I'll let a tear.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What if we bring her a snack next time? to make
You
up.
know, that is one of the fastest ways to a dragon's heart is to bring them a little something to snack upon.
Okay, okay. So maybe there's got to be some kind of animals on this island, right?
Oh, there's plenty. There's definitely game that wanders through the forest. There's fish along the sea. You notice a lot of people as you came in fishing in the village. Some of that fish is for them. A lot of it is for these two. Keeps them happy. What did you roll, Estrella?
15.
She looks at you and she goes, there's no offense taken. They're just a little hungry and, well, we called an unexpected council to meet with you all. It's about time for them to grab a little bit of lunch. In fact, why don't we all grab lunch? And she turns to the two, the female and male, and kind of just gives this little shake of her hand and goes, which sounds a little bit more like a purr than a roar coming out of a human. But you hear them both emit the exact same vocalization in response. And of course, from two dragons, it's like a and the whole chamber gets hot for a second with their breath as it kind of fills in, and you can kind of smell fish. Like you can tell fish is their primary diet. And then with a gust of wind, the two take off and sort of spiral their way up and then out of this cavernous chamber. If you would do me the honor of being my guests for lunch this afternoon, follow me and I'll show you to a place where you all can eat and rest as you need to. Would that be to your liking?
Yes, please.
All right, well, follow me. Hiccup, you're welcome to come too. I'm not gonna say no to food. Come along, son. And you all walk off to go to lunch.
We're gonna do lunch.
We'll do lunch.
We'll do.
So we will take this opportunity to shift over to the kingdom of the dwarves with King Fafnir. Now, as we mentioned, Mud and Astoria had just finished revealing the Arkenstone, and Fafnir is elated, but in a old man sort of way. There's no jumping for joy. There's just a sense of finally. He turns to the group. My daughter, you have done well to bring these people here. And you have done well in revealing the Arkenstone. Well done. Well done, all of you. You are honored among the dwarves. What we have is yours. What we can offer, you may take. What we desire, we will ask. This is the dwarven way, and for as long as you remain in these hollowed halls, we ask that you honor this simple arrangement. Do I have your agreement on this? Mud?
She just gently bows, well, like not bows, but nods her head. Bows.
The two gentlemen in the back. Do I have your agreement as well?
I'll walk forwards and kind of finally now kneel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like summon my astral arm and face for a moment.
Sure.
As I kind of kneel and kind of mention also, my lord, also I might be of service in analyzing the stone as a artificer by nature and an earth genasi. Maybe I can help analyze what power could be possible with this stone.
Roll persuasion.
That is 16.
Nice. I said it at 15. Yeah, no. King Fafnir looks at you, and for a moment you see in his eyes that he doesn't want to say yes. He wants to say no. He wants to almost agreed take over him. But then that expression passes. Of course, Master Artificer. We would welcome another eye upon this sacred stone. There's much that we could both learn from it, and you have all earned your place here. And your friend, the blue-skinned one.
The blue man. I'm going to follow Kieran's lead and give him the same, like I guess, like Neil of different deference. And
Deference.
am I able to do some sort of like history check on him, or just
Yeah, go for it.
Nice.
Go for it, man. I'll give you advantage for thinking of that because that's yes, do it.
Yes. Do it. Okay.
Okay, 15.
Good. As you bow and you take in, the first thing you look around and notice, not even looking around, you're looking at him, and you can see upon his cloak the crest of his kingdom. And you recognize this crest. In your travels, you've sailed the seas for many years, and this whole notion of worlds colliding is not brand new to the party. You've all encountered it in various ways, but probably none more than you, Yasin, given that you've lived a life on the high seas and have been to so many ports. You have met another dwarf who has this same crest before. And in fact, you had spent some time with him in the local tavern, just trading stories, making waffles, that sort of basic thing.
Swapping manly stories.
You remembered his name being Stormhawk, a tough little dwarf, very much akin to the sea, different for his people. That's why the two of you kind of built a bond. What you remember the most of him was the technology that he had at his disposal. He wasn't just into rock and stone, but into powering artifacts through the power of gems, creating machines. He had dreams of making airships and weapons that fired projectiles, all of these things that are not commonplace to Faerun. Do what you will with that information, but you know a bit about this king through him.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, are you gonna? Okay, I'm just gonna. I didn't want to cut anybody off. Okay, cool. Just make sure. All right, here we go. All right. Well, now that we have gotten the formalities out of the way, I suppose you didn't come along. Ah, I knew you'd be there in the background. You're kind. Why do you sleep in the shadows, sir? Come out that we may greet you. And Yornkind was behind all of you the entire time. Never noticed him because he didn't want to be noticed. And he steps forward now and he goes, "My king, a pleasure to meet you again." And you see him bow in the same way you all did, hand to chest, kneeling on one leg. And then he rises. "Congratulations on finding the Arkenstone. I am pleased for what this means for your kingdom. I have come here with these 3 travelers who claim to have knowledge of Thonrar and who seek to find a way of ending this chaos in the skies that we have. Of course. I suppose the three of you also seek peace with the dragon kind. Would this be correct? And you notice that the king does not look at Yormkind when he speaks, but looks at the party and is expecting an answer from one of you three.
Yasin will straighten up and kind of give him his, I guess he's going to try to give him his just like the smolder, like my king.
Yes.
We have nothing but the utmost respect for you and your kingdom. And we want to do everything we can to help.
Aye. Well, this is fortunate. Your name, son?
Oh, Admiral Yasin Driftwood.
Aye, Admiral. You look like a man of the sea. I can see it in you. And you, my master artificer, I did not catch your name.
Kieran Broxel of the Adari. I hope it's, let me phrase that again. I believe that it's visible what the astral elements have done by, and I'll like let my arm kind of fade and reveal the downside of this whole experience. And I hope it's evident that we are truly here to not necessarily only align your humble people with the dragons, but align the realms as well. This isn't just two clans war. This is an entire collection of realms colliding, and we wish to solve and find peace together with you and with the dragons.
The dragon kind. You should have let your admiral speak, Master Artificer. He told me what I wanted to hear, but you told me the truth. Peace with the dragons is not something I wish to entertain. But I agree that the matter of the realms must be addressed. On this we can agree, Master Artificer, Admiral, Champion, as he looks at you, Mud. We can start there and see where things go. Come, follow me to my council chambers. You'll wish to meet the other dwarven lords. We can talk of next steps. Daughter! Aye. And you see Princess Astoria come and give a short bow. See to the master craftsman and make sure that this Arkenstone is properly cared for. Afterwards, you can join us in the chambers, daughter. It shall be done, father. And she bows and moves away. Come, follow me, my friends. We have much to discuss. Is everybody cool with following King Fafnir to the council chambers, or does anybody want to try any last things before following?
Can I like
Anybody but Kieran. Kieran can't do anything.
okay.
No, you're good. Go ahead, man. Lay it
So,
on.
I'm gonna go up to the Arkenstone and kind of like almost like check to see what feeling I get from it. And then also I'm gonna disguise that like kind of check by patting Mud on the shoulder and being like, you could have done it by yourself.
I think so, but you know.
I want you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. Saving throw. What is it? Oh, 30-20.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. as you reach out for the Arkenstone, and you're kind of hiding amidst this kind of pat with mud, and then sort of like trying to graze the stone as you all walk by, there's only one guard who kind of is moving into position, who kind of sees what you're going to do, and he tries to grab your hand as it slips off of Mud's back, but you're just fast enough that you make contact with the stone. As you do so, you are overcome with a feeling of not just power. It's more than power. It's a presence. It's a personality. You feel when you touch this stone what you used to feel with your own old soul gem. What you feel now with the new one that you've crafted. You gain a sense that there is a life inside of this gem, ancient, powerful, but also clearly malevolent. It is dark, and it is cold that shivers up your arm and shoulder, and it causes your missing limb to ache. And the minute your hand releases, you feel the pain subside and the coldness subside. And the guard is kind of like, hey, don't touch that. Keep going, keep going. Blah, 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 blah,
Along.
blah.
Sorry. I just so used to handling gems, and I'll kind of like
Handle your own gems.
mud, be like
Somebody else's
celebratory.
Stop.
Okay, you can't. Don't touch another dwarf's gems. All right, you should know better. Go on.
The king gave me.
And yeah, so yeah, you've got that. You know there's a malevolent dark force inside of the Arkenstone. And so the three of you follow King Fafnir and a couple of his honor guards and make your way into his council chambers. Let us switch back to our party of dragon peoples. Grim, Estrella, and Keladri. The three of you enter a very simple kitchen-like area. On one end, there are a few cooks. In fact, these are lizard folk. They're smaller, thinner, very thin tails, very soft scales. You're starting to tell the difference after having stared at the high-born dragons for so long. They had thick scales. They had larger limbs, bigger proportions. These lizard folk are small and lithe. They look like they're built for speed, not for power. But they're out there going through cooking and everything. They kind of look back at the queen and they go, and do a little hissing wave thing, and keep going back on their cooking duties. And there's a table, a round table that's been set out. The queen motions, and some more places are set for Hiccup, Estrella, Grim, Keladri. And there's a few more spaces available, but nobody else seems to be sitting there at the time. But you notice that the table could hold easily 8, maybe 9 people around it. But there's just plenty of space for you all. And the queen takes off her helmet, her shoulder cape, and kind of lets that hit the ground and gets ready to sit. Yes, Grim.
Is there a specific seat for the queen?
There isn't. You notice that all of the chairs look the same. Very simple, kind of like wooden stools around a large wooden table. Very, very simple.
Okay.
Do you want to sit in the queen's seat?
I was gonna test her.
Oh.
But if there's no specific seat, then I can't
This
really
is very Knights of the Round Table here. Very simple for everyone. And the queen takes a seat and she motions for the rest of the party. Please join me. Grab a seat anywhere is fine. This is kind of my own little private kitchen when I don't wish to mingle with the other nobles and lords and other dragons and talk business. This is where I get away to just enjoy a cup of tea and maybe some jam and biscuits on my own. But please, Lunch will be served very soon. Take a seat.
So like where are the seats that we're gonna take up?
Anywhere you want. So it's a round table.
Oh,
can
it's
either-
actually a round table. Okay.
Round. So you can either choose to sit next to the queen, close to her. You can sit on the opposite side of the table. You notice Hiccup is waiting for you all to sit first. Like Hiccup will sit wherever. So you guys get first dibs.
Just sit across from the queen so I can look in her face.
Ah, okay. So Keladri takes the first position sitting across from the queen. The table's not so huge that it feels awkward. It just is a comfortable distance that Keladri is.
Emily, where are you
I'm
gonna
gonna,
sit?
I'm gonna go sit next to Calendry.
I'm gonna sit right next to her.
On the right or the left?
Like looking at her? Right.
Okay. To her right side.
I don't know
Excellent.
why that was specific.
If I'm Santa, it would be on the right.
Like visualizing it, I'm like, no, that way.
It's all good. Hiccup sits on the opposite side of you, Grim. So the two of you are flanking his mother as you sit, and Estrella and Keladri are on the other side. And you see the queen, and she kind of eyes Keladri and Estrella, and then looks at Grim and Hiccup and gives the two of you a soft smile. And she goes, "So, I've heard a lot from the dragons around me, but I wish to hear it from you. What brings you to my kingdom?"
Talking to us or Hiccup?
Hmm?
Talking to
She-
Hiccup?
she's just asking the group, whoever speaks first.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Good,
I'll
Keladri.
respond.
Okay.
I'll just say we're trying to help smooth things over to avoid a war, and we want to know what we can do.
And then Keladri, you were going to say something, and then Grim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask her, like, I just want to ask the queen, where is this issue with the dwarves? Like, what have the dwarves done to you, the dragons, as a people? Why do you have this, opposition between the two of you? Just to get a little history.
A very astute question, young tiefling. It's quite simple. We have differing opinions on the dragon god Thunrar. See, we both believe that Thunrar is the father of Tiamat, Nan, Faerun, I believe you're from. And Faerun, you know of Tiamat. She breathed life into the world, and her two children kind of sow chaos amongst it. There are many legends surrounding this, but Tiamat being a mighty dragon, 5 heads, each head devoted to one of the elements that bring life, fire and water, air, and so forth. And Tiamat is known throughout many realms, but here, in our corner of the cosmos, if you will, we also know of her father, for she didn't come from nowhere. And we called him Thunrar. I believe you know him as Faunus. Other realms have different names. We've encountered that. Well, we believe that it is only through a deep devotion and a rekindling of our relationship with Thunrar that we can help him fix the cosmos. That this issue began with the breath of the dragon and must be healed with the breath of a dragon. Now, King Fafnir, on his side of the world, with his dwarven clans and others who are on his side, they're not all dwarves, I believe. There are Earth Genasi with him and dwarves from other kingdoms, other realms. Well, they believe that Thunrar is the cause of all of this problem, and that the only way to end these incursions is with his blood. To kill him and perform a ritual through blood magic and a device known as the Arkan Stone. With these items and the other gems at his disposal and the blood of our god Thunrar, he believes he can solve this problem. You can see where a war would start between us. I wish to keep all dragons safe and to reconnect with our God, and he wishes to kill our kind and to kill the one that we worship. It's a difficult quandary to get around, wouldn't you say, Keladre?
Yeah. Seems like there's no easy solution to this problem. Have you had interactions with the dwarves, or have you fought with the dwarves up to this point, or is it
There have
still
been
tensions?
small skirmishes here and there. Nothing too drastic. No one has lost a life. I thank Thunra for that. But tensions are brewing. There was a time where we met in Burke. Hiccup, I believe you remember. Oh, yeah, that went swell. But just to sum it up for everybody, they met, they talked, a couple of buildings burned down. I think Gobber lost his eyebrows and I lost my leg. I don't know what the hell happened to that one. I had to make a new one, but it was chaos. And honestly, not for Astrid, it might have been a lot worse. So I'll just leave it at that. It was bad. We agreed never to meet like that again. Then a couple of weeks later, you guys show up, and well, here we are. Oh boy. Yes, indeed.
Can I look at, I'm also going to look at the queen and ask her, is there a solution that doesn't end in bloodshed that you could, envision for your people and the dwarves?
You remind me of, well, the female dragon who sniffed your friend. She speaks calming wisdom as well. I'm open to ideas. I want peace between our lands. If they simply left, if we could find a way to open a portal to another realm, and perhaps if the king and his people just left ours, maybe that could be a solution. But we have been unable to do any such magic on our side, and believe me, we have powerful dragon magic. But breaching the mages, or not the mages, but breaching the veil between realms is not an easy bit of wizardry.
Okay.
Now it is my time to ask your, oh, go ahead, Grim. You raise your hand. She's like, yes, Grim.
Oh, like I asked. Like, okay. So are they planning to attack you and that's why you want to fight them? Or you just can't cohabitate?
An excellent question. It is neither and both. Here, and she takes a moment to think how much she wants to reveal. You can sense her doing the same thing the three of you are doing. How deep should I go? But she looks at the three of you and you see her reach a conclusion in her mind. We both seek the world tree, Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil is the tree that connects all realms together, or so it has been taught to us through many legends and stories throughout the ages. We have found the tree, a mighty world tree that extends far beyond our line of sight, whose roots are believed to touch every realm. In order for us to seek Thonrar, this tree would be the best bet. If it can travel to other realms, perhaps it can travel to his. Perhaps instead of going down into the roots, if we went up into the branches, high into the sky, it might open a realm to where our god lies. King Fafnir believes this too, and wishes to use the tree as a way to breach into Thunrar's realm to kill him. And of course, we seek the opposite. If a war is to be fought, it will be fought there, at the base of Yggdrasil.
But nobody knows if it'll actually work.
It's all legend, true. But
So
to
what if
find the tree at all, I'm sorry I interrupted you. My pardon, please.
What if one of us who's been there before tests it out?
Now that is an interesting idea. It would have to be more than just my persuasion you'd need to win. It would also have to be that of King Fafnir. I'd hate to see you go there and to encounter a contingent of dwarves bent on killing you, but perhaps that is a solution.
Okay.
I will share it with the other nobles to get their weight on it. While I may be the Dragon Queen, I do not rule alone. If we agree on this as a course of action, then you would have my blessing to go to Yggdrasil and to see if the legends are true.
Sounds good.
Now, it is my turn to ask questions of the three of you. I feel as if I'm a bit of an inquisition here, all of you just questioning me. Hiccup, you didn't tell me that your lady friends were so tough. Well, you know, and women. Takes a big drink. The Dragon Queen looks at three of you and goes, I hear that you are here for a weapon, a flute, if you will, the dragon dagger of Thunrar. Is this true by chance?
Yes.
You hesitate, Grim. There is a catch to your voice. May I ask why the hesitation, young lady?
I guess I'm gonna tell her. Well, we've trusted others and it didn't end well.
A wise policy. Perhaps why your two friends sit on the opposite side of me in order to keep an eye on my movements and what I'm doing. Isn't that right, Caladri and Estrella? Caladri's expression was great, just that little eye raise.
What'd she do? I missed it.
She just grins and raises her eyebrows, and I'm like, damn, that's it, right across the table. Like, what? Yeah.
I'm just going to blame us. We're in a strange world, and we're trying to survive, and at the same time bring a peaceful resolution. We also wish to avoid bloodshed.
Well, that's good to hear. And I don't begrudge your mistrust of me. Believe me, I don't fully trust the three of you either, but that's normal in these sort of talks. I'm curious to know from you, Estrella, as you've spoken the least at our gathering now, what do you seek the dragon flute for?
You can.
Should I tell her?
I'm gonna look at you and I'm just gonna be like, I think it's okay.
Oh, we got it. Okay. I wish I was as well spoken as the other two. Oh my gosh. So Estrella is going to tell her we've met Thomas before.
No.
Her
And
eyes, as you say this, her eyes get wide. And she's
Oh,
like,
you didn't know we.
He's met God.
well, I
Oh,
assumed that the three of you were just telling my son a bit of a tale to get to see me, that it was far-fetched, but you have actually spoken with Thomas in person.
many times.
a few, yeah. He gathered us to help end whatever realm could be happening. And I'll explain the details of the collecting the flutes and the weapons and the instruments and all that. But I'll tell her we're trying to put an end to this, and we think this is the way to do it.
But we've had some stumbles.
We've had some stumbles, and we're not sure who to trust, but we're doing our best.
Which of you three has the highest passive perception? Let me know your passive perception. I want to see who notices this first.
Passive Perception.
It's
It'll be on the.
it's in senses. It's on the left-hand side under saving throws.
Sense. What do you feel?
It's under senses?
Mulberry.
I ain't got no senses. Oh wait, here they
There they are.
My passive perception
Her
is
passive perception is not good.
Oh, what's yours, Estrella?
17.
17, Kelladry,
I'm
Oh,
10.
Hello, strong.
and
Hello, small.
are. I see passive wisdom, passive investigation, and passive insight.
Wisdom, perception.
10.
okay,
10.
cool. So this works out great because Estrella, as you're talking with her, you're noticing firsthand that there are tears forming in the Dragon Queen's eyes. And in fact, these tears fill up so much that they start to fall down her face. And Hiccup notices next. And of course, the rest of you notice by this point, but Hiccup's like, Mom, are you all right?
Mama.
I, son, you have no idea how Grim, control yourself. You have no idea how happy I am to hear these words. They've met God, and he is everything I knew and hoped he would be. Estrella, don't you see? He brought your party together to fix, to heal the worlds, to undo all the wrong that has happened.
But guess what we haven't been doing?
This is exactly what we believe. This is what we know to be true as dragons. Of course, we will help you in every way that we can. The flute will be yours. I have but to mention it to the nobles. I ask that the three of you come with me in the meeting to tell your stories, to speak to them the way you've spoken to me. I can guarantee you that they'll listen, and with my backing, will definitely be convinced of your sincerity. You can work together with our dragon kind to heal the worlds. Yes, Grandma.
Can I do a I don't know what it would be, like a sincerity check?
That would be you can do it through investigation, perception, insight, but you don't have to. As you look at her, she turns to you and she just lays a hand, because you're the closest one to her. She just lays a hand on yours, and you feel her give it a you feel her give it a squeeze, and you can see the sincerity in her eyes. And furthermore, you can feel it from her through the energy that she gives off. You know that she 100% believes what she's saying, and whatever barriers she had against the party, they've dropped. She fully trusts all of you.
We made it.
Nice. Okay.
So let us enjoy lunch together first, and then afterwards I will assemble the council and we will talk. And good things will happen. Quickly! And you hear kind of hiss to the other lizard folk. One of them goes, I'm a dragon. Not lizard, I'm a tongue thing. No.
There you go.
But food is is served around you. There's a plate of fresh meats, sausages, and bacon, and meat patties of a different assortment. There's some fruits and cheeses, milk and orange juice and apple juice. Just a nice assortment of breakfast grub for all of you. So take this time to eat, enjoy, replenish. Is Crumbs coming out to eat too? Is that
Crumbs is gonna. I don't know if I want Crumbs like all the way out. I don't feel very safe about. but I am going to just make sure to constantly be giving him little snacks.
Roll animal handling with advantage. I want to see how Crumbs warms up to you.
Can I ask her?
13. Okay, and yeah, go ahead, Grim.
So who would I have to get the dwarf king's permission to also go see the tree?
It would be recommended that you speak with King Fafnir.
And if I didn't,
If you didn't, I
Remember
I understand that roguish nature of yours. I was once like that in my youth too. I'll say this, you have my full blessing, and if you go without his and a war happens, we will be ready to fight on your side.
no, I understand.
With a 13, Estrella, Crumbs just kind of, every time you hand something down to him, you just see him climb up in your pocket of it. He just reaches it. And by the time your last piece of food comes, he just kind of reaches and touches your hand. He goes, squeak, and then takes the food down in. And he's got this nice little assortment in the bottom of your pocket. where
Charcuterie
he
board.
just kind of sits into it in on his back with his little legs up, and most of the food he piles onto his belly and just starts slowly just like
Hey, that's how I snack too.
so he is good to go. Your little green rat is enjoying life.
Ken, before we end up, when we finish eating, before we go to talk to the other dragons, can I step to the side and use the
Stones.
yeah,
I was gonna say something about talking to the other group.
yeah.
Go ahead. Who are you reaching out to? And we'll see if they accept the charges.
We'll be in jail.
2 gold for long distance.
I'm gonna reach out to Kieran.
Okay, so here's what happens. As Kieran and his party are walking to the main council chamber for King Fafnir, Kieran, you feel your stone kind of vibrate a bit as Estrella is trying to reach out to you. Just bzz, bzz.
I'm like dying, so I'm just like, huzzah, we are successful. I'll pull it out and look at it.
Okay. Now you have 2 options here. Is this something that you wish to hide and not let any of the dwarves with you know what's happening? Or do you just want to, I'm just going to step to the side and take this call kind of a thing?
You know what? Would I be skilled enough to hold it within my astral face, like if I embed it like in my astral form, just like kind of create my astral form, just to kind of have it there so I can hear it, but
It
it's
should
like
just float in that side of your face. Just float around.
Man, that's
Flower box pops out.
that is so weird. Let's go for it. Let's I want you to roll.
So extra.
Gosh, I guess kind of Arcana. Well, let's go with Arcana. Roll Arcana. Let's see if you could just kind of Mission Impossible this into your astral form.
Do it.
14.
Yeah, that'll slide. So yeah, you kind of lean in. Now, what I will say is that the first time you did your astral form, I kind of let that slide for shits and giggles as just a fun party trick. This time won't count against your 3 time allotment per day kind of a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, so you kind of bring the stone up to this and you kind of reach inside and summon your astral form, which you notice it's just getting easier and easier every time you do this. And what you notice is that the stone kind of sort of settles in around your ear cheek region, just kind of hovers there. Very nice, very convenient placement. But your astral form has such shifting color and presence to it that nobody really notices that there's anything inside of your face. So yeah, you can pick up the call and you can talk. Now, I'm assuming that you don't want people to really notice that you're talking, right? You are actively hiding this.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So every now and then I'll just have you make a stealth roll to see how successful you are at people not eavesdropping.
Okay. I'll just kind of like like as I'm going, I'll just like hello. And then I'll get it like set up.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? I'm in a tunnel.
Okay.
How's it going with the dwarves? Are you guys still alive?
No.
We survived. I'm kind of like I'm acting like I'm talking to Mud. I was
Okay.
like, "We totally survived thanks to you smashing that stone to reveal the Arkenstone." And I'm just kind of like reiterating, but
Does
it
Mud
makes-
know he's talking on this?
So he's talking to Mud, but really to us.
I'm talking
Yeah,
to you
roll-
loudly enough that they can hear it.
Roll perception. Let's see.
Me? Does Mud know?
Does Mud know, or is she just thinks she's
Mud's
talking to
always
Karen? Let's see.
Duh. Yeah, I was there.
Oh my gosh, she has a -1 to perception.
That's amazing.
Okay, it's still a 17, but like
Okay, good roll. Good roll. Okay, Mud's got a negative. Mud is just naturally like blinders on. Got it.
she's too high up. She doesn't see it.
You all saw people I don't see. Yeah, with a 17, yes. So you saw Kieran grab the stone and kind of position it towards his face, and you saw the astral form come on. Since you know what the stones are and what they do, you were able to kind of catch that.
Okay.
So as he's talking to you, you're aware of what's happening.
Okay, I'm going to she's going to try to play it up anyway. She's gonna be like, yeah, she's gonna grab around like his shoulders and be like, we did good. Well, I did good, but you were there also.
That's
Hey.
how it was.
I love this.
Estrella, you're here too, by the way. I'm
I
like,
am so sorry. This is great. I'm just having fun watching. Okay, so we what was the tree called, Chris? I'm so sorry. What was the tree called?
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil.
No, literally, it is the Viking world tree. Like this is from actual mythology and Viking mythology.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Give him the rundown. The dragons believe in Thonrar, Thonis. We just spoke with the queen. Hiccups mothers the queen. That's crazy. Queen dragon. We told her that we've met Thonis. She said we could have the dagger. We might go to this Viking tree and see if we can go see Thonis. We kind of have to get the Dwarf King's permission. How does he feel about Thonis? See,
Not
see, cool.
good. He wants to kill him.
I don't know that though.
Yes,
I'll just
Oh,
kind
I-
of like.
Yeah.
It's secondhand information, you know. You want the first hand. You know?
we do. Okay.
My notes.
Oh, okay. We just heard from the queen. Just what you're saying. I was like, wait. We know he wants to kill him.
So before you answer, Kieran, roll stealth.
Oh God.
I can be loud. It's fine. Don't worry.
If you, well, I will let you.
You got a
throw
frog in your
distract.
throat.
You want me to throw a distraction?
Let's see what he
Ready.
rolls first.
9, because I have disadvantage on stealth rolls because of my stupid that I need to.
Kieran can roll with advantage depending on your distraction.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Depending on my
Don't do that.
Because right now, so with a 9 stealth.
If I notice like the dwarf that is probably this.
Oh no,
the purpose of
there
the
are
spell.
2 dwarves who are kind of, so if you look at the honor guard, there's King Fafnir, honor guard, there's Yasin, honor guard, and then the 2 of you in the back. And the 2 closest to the to you guys are kind of turning and looking and noticing one, Mud was really loud just a second ago. And like they're also kind of hearing almost this like muffled underwater voice happening from Estrella as she's like explaining and pontificating and all this stuff. And so like, Did you hear that? Did you? I thought I did hear
She's going
something.
to like clap Kieran on the back and be like, "Ha, this guy, right? He's a joker. He can throw his voice like I don't know." And she's gonna go up to the dwarves and kind of like do the same to them and like clap them on the back, even though it's like down here, and be like, "Did you see me break that stone? I mean, look at."
Okay, roll performance with advantage.
Okay.
Kieran, make another stealth roll at this time with advantage.
I'm gonna actually also say to convey the message. The way that I'm gonna deliver it is I'm just gonna be like, hey, because we're like getting the attention of the dwarves and be like, down
Yep.
with Thomas.
Yeah,
Just like-
man, down with Thonis. Yeah, you hear them kind of do that. They're totally like into mud. Like you have just tapped the manly dwarven gene, and they're like, yeah,
Rocks.
yeah, rock.
like keep my ear so she could hear their response.
Yeah. Man, that was amazing watching you just crack that open, seeing the Arkenstone revealed that way. It's gonna be great. We're gonna use that and we're gonna totally fuck with Thonis's day. Yeah, fuck with Thonis.
Fuck Thonis.
This prepubescent dwarf is killing me.
They're all loud enough, Estrella, that you can hear all of them like you would through a phone, and you're just hearing these little dwarven voices in the background
And
saying
mud.
this.
And mud.
I understand. Might need you to change their minds. Good luck with that.
I mean, is he
Can I
really
have
that
this?
guy?
Fuck with Thomas.
Can you put this on speakerphone, Estrella?
We're on speakerphone. Grim's here.
Okay.
Now, are the two of you trying to hide this from the queen or no?
I'm not. Are we?
No. Nope.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
I want to ask him, what are the chances I could come over to the dwarves and convince him to let me go to the tree? What do you think the chances are?
Mud. when we see our friends next, we'll have to ask them about what was that tale that they were telling us of some magical tree?
Oh, I know this one, the magical tree, that Yggdrasil. Yeah, I've heard that. You guys know the tale of Yggdrasil? You guys got friends? Where are your friends at? I didn't know that. I didn't know there's more than 3 of you.
Yeah, so many of us.
We got separated when we got here. The whole realm transportation. You want to see a magic trick?
Yeah, you can love magic.
I'm gonna because my eye has like this astral like force.
Wait, can Yasin actually do that? I just want Yasin to be in front of them, and he just does that, and like, ooh. Oh my!
Oh, does he do?
Oh. By the mighty balls of Fenrir, you are all amazing. So freaking magic. I love you all so much. Admiral, could you sign my pauldron? Could you I gotta go, right? Could you sign that? Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm just,
It's big A Admiral.
Take this opportunity actually.
Yep.
Kind of like drop back and let Yasin kind of step forwards and kind of like transition the focus to him.
Yeah. And you do. Yasin, is there anything else you're keeping these 2 guards entertained, you and Mud? What else could you be doing to entertain them?
Juggle.
Taking kids. Oh yeah, just like the finger thing, like how's it going?
Yeah, a little thing.
Oh,
Oh, buy the stone. Buy all of the stone and their humps. That is amazing. But your fingers really there. Holy shit. My mind
What?
is blown.
Bud's gonna go up next to us and be like, "What? Wait, watch!" And she's going to do like this little crazy like flip thing with her hammer, and then like put it behind her back, and she knows like there's like a magnetic like
Yep.
there that goes behind it, and then she's gonna go like it's gone.
They're street performers. We just didn't know it.
From the perspective of the dwarf, who are literally like at your waist, the hammer is gone. He sees you flip this giant thing behind your back, and all he can see is your shoulders and head. He's like, holy shit. Wait, no. Bring it back. You gotta bring it back. Come on.
How far back am I able to like slow down while all of this is happening?
You can be like 10 feet away from them and they would not notice. You can be completely out of earshot.
All right, I'm gonna ask Estrella. I'm gonna be like, what is Yggdrasil exactly? And do the dragons know anything about the dwarves that would be a weak spot for changing their minds? Like, do they know like anything about, basically I'm trying to ask is like, do they know anything about the dwarves that could help us out?
What if we tell them that we're going to try to bring Faunus back for them, but we're actually just seeing if the tree works?
I mean,
Like, tell both sides. I mean, I don't know if the Dragon Queen or whatever is 100% with us, with everything. I mean, I know she believes Faunus is her god and whatever, but we could just tell them that we're going to see if we can reach Faunus through the tree and try to bring him to them, and we lied to the dragon people.
ooh, I don't
Like
know.
I mean,
Yes, in front of the Dragon Queen? Hang on a second.
No, hold on. You just got their trust. Let's not like start deceiving people here. Let's try to keep it peaceful.
Also right in front of her.
Right?
So
No, I'm not saying that we're actually doing that to her. We
okay.
tell the dwarves
wanna
we're
lie to the
lying
dwarves.
to her.
Oh,
But we're lying to them.
okay,
You
okay.
just see Hiccup's mom in the background going, It is a dangerous plan, but oh, that's a wrong accent. It is a dangerous plan, but perhaps if you're able to convince King Fafnir that you were acting in his best interests, it's possible if you trust your friends. And Kieran, you can't hear her; she's too far away. But Mud and Grim and Estrella, you hear what she's saying.
How long does my astral form last, by the way? I'm just trying to think of how much time I have left on this call.
I'll give you 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes on it.
Estrella will explain the tree to Kieran, but we don't have any info on the dwarves. But I also feel like lying to them is going to have big consequences at some point.
But it's for future
But
us.
we can keep that in a pocket, like right back there.
That's for future us to deal with. This is us, and this is how I live my life.
Hopefully level up more future us.
Maybe y'all can see how he feels about the tree. Maybe there's something he can benefit from it, that he would be cool with us going and messing with it.
Or we could just see if the tree actually works before they start fighting a war, since we're not on either side.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this is a source of what they're fighting over even too, or a layer of that, then that could be something that we could say, hey, if we can like
Scope her out.
validate this, maybe then we can start a negotiation process and say like, hey, we can validate this and start a negotiation process. Maybe we can find a way to sort of navigate for I'm like subtly whispering to myself. Create some sort of opportunity for navigation or negotiation, and then that's our in with the dwarves at least.
Man, I can't believe you just made that appear and disappear so many. That's insane. It's so big. Your hammer's bigger than me. Wow. Oh shit. We're almost here. We should probably We're official guards. We're official guards. Thank you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you for signing my pauldron mud.
Would official guards like to hold the
Yeah. Later. We're almost here. We're almost here.
Okay,
And so,
offers only come once in a while. It's fine.
oh, okay. Yes, please, please, just real quick. Just let me hold this. I'll hold it. The dude's doing a strength check. Okay, he got a 17. That's not bad for a dwarf. He takes and he's like, wow, and he like almost falls, but he does it, and he like, and he brings it to his chest. He's like, I'm gonna remember this moment for the rest of my life.
Oh, buddy.
And feel the power.
Right.
Oh, what does this button do?
I expended all 3 things, so it shouldn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. It just makes this little click, 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 and like, oh, that was a little disappointing.
It needs a tune-up. It needs a tune-up.
Oh,
It
okay,
needs
okay.
Mud just says you are not worthy and takes it back.
Well, okay, now official guards, we're here. Where's Kieran? Kieran,
Excuse me. I'll like let my astral thing fade, and I'll just let like the little like residue that comes from my like glowy eye
Yeah.
thing like fall out and be like, oh God, I hate when that happens. Sorry about that.
Oh wow, that seems like you should get that looked at. Oh man, that's okay. We're here.
Gemstone. It's actually quite cool. Look at that.
No, that's fine. You get down now.
I'll just
So yes, you have all successfully had a call that nobody in the Dwarven Kingdom knows you had. So well done there.
That was chaos.
That was a team effort.
What's our name?
Sales rings.
At
So-
least we at that time.
Yeah, right.
So now we are back in the halls of the Dwarven Lords. Kieran, as party finishes their distractions, Yasin, you have signed like 3 dwarves pauldrons at this point, along with Mud.
Amazing.
You are literally like right now like low-key superstars amongst the royal guards. Like they're spreading your names about how cool you are, the magic tricks that you can all do. Just literally like they're starstruck around.
Lean
the two
over
of
to
you.
Yasin. We have to figure out more tricks. They seem to like this thing.
I'm pulling a ribbon out of my coat. I'm like, huh?
But as you enter the hall of Dwarven Lords, there's just a somberness that kind of happens amongst the guards, and they immediately go back to their stone-faced professional look. But if any of you ever like glance at these guards, they kind of give you a wink and like a nod, and then go back to like what they're doing as they spread out around the room. King Fafnir gestures for you all to stand in the middle. And you notice that this chamber is entirely filled with gems, top to bottom, ceiling to floor. Green and purple gems surround the entire hall of the lords. And you notice that there is a raised section carved out of stone, and on it are chairs. Each of these stone-laden chairs sits a dwarf, some older, some younger. And you can tell by the length of their beards, the gray in it. All of them are dressed well. They look as if they have just got finished with a very serious conversation among themselves. And as their king enters, they all immediately stand and bow. King Fafnir just sort of nods in one direction and then the other, and motions for them to sit. And they all take their seats. One dwarven lord in particular, sort of with his cape, and then sits dramatically. He's one of the youngest of the dwarven lords. He has the tightest cropped beard, the least amount of wrinkles on his face. He has about him a sense of like the crow, the pauldrons and the feathers that he wears within him. He has a very crow-esque look to him, if you will. And in fact, King Fafnir looks to him and gestures, "Crow Lord, It's nice to see you at this gathering. Of course, my lord. I would not miss meeting new people for no reason. And he is the last to sit of all of the lords. As you move to the center of this room, you notice that all of the gems are positioned in such a way to create a spotlight in that exact space. And for a moment, you're blinded until your eyes slowly adjust. But you look down at your feet and you can see that there is a kaleidoscope of green and purple that swirls around you and kind of is the center space. And you hear King Fafnir talk to the three of you. Within this space, you are free to speak to the lords. If at any time you are asked to step out of the light, that means your time to speak is done. Respect it and no harm will come to you. Speak outside of the light, and it is punishable by death. You understand these terms? Right. And welcome to the Hall of the Dwarven Lords. And King Fafnir gives you a nod and then moves to his position, which is just slightly higher than the other lords. His chair is on its own private dais, larger and more resplendent than theirs. The jewels of this chamber are a part of his throne and come into the back and down the sides of the arms. And as he sits upon it, for a moment, he looks as if he sits among the gems, as if it is just his realm, his presence within them.
Does he have a specific, like, does one specific color tend to circle him? Or is it just a mixture of everything?
What you notice as you look at him is that on his armor, the purple gems seem to shine a little brighter, just in general. And he does have one purple gem at the center of his crown that now that you see him surrounded by so many of them, all of his gems just stand out even more to you. You can't help but be drawn to look at them. And you notice that his crown, there is that single large purple gem in it. My lords, I bring before you these three travelers who have come with Jornkind from the island of Berk. But they hail from much farther than that, coming from the various realms as the refugees that we know. But they come seeking our aid and assistance and offering aid in return. As is the dwarven custom, we will all hear them out and hear their request. And as such, they shall hear ours. And if an accord can be reached, then we shall move forward. If not, then our friends are allowed to leave peaceably, but never return to Dwarven lands. My friends, I introduced you the Dwarven court. The many lords that you see here before you represent the various realms of industry. The master craftsman for the armor, the weapons. And he starts to motion down the line. Our master smith, as he motions. Our chief artificer, and he motions to the dwarven female closest to him, to his right, if you will, as it goes around the sort of horseshoe that he sits. And you see her, and she's wearing goggles with varying lenses that kind of come forth. She has graying hair that looked like it used to be red at one point, but it's kind of gray-white now. And she's wearing very elaborate apron and gloves, you know, looks like made of the finest leathers, very well crafted and cared for. And she sort of twirls this green gem in her hand back and forth, like you would a quarter or something like that, just back and forth, just showing her dexterity with that, if you will. And she looks at you, Karen, and kind of brings down a couple more of her lenses and then nods and flips them back up.
I'll do one of like the little like
Yep.
slight like bow in return.
Mhm. And then to his immediate left, he motions, "This here is the Crow Lord, our master at arms, and our master chef." And he keeps going down the line, a couple of more who are just tradespeople, in charge of finance, the one in charge of the community upkeep and stuff like that. But the Crow Lord eyes the three of you. Being the master at arms, he is leader of the army. And he sort of stands and he goes, "My king, if I could speak a moment." "Yes, of course. By all means, master at arms." "I am pleased that the king has found it in his heart to be gracious to the three of you. If you had met me, you would not be so lucky. But that is neither here nor there. I welcome you to this realm, but also offer you caution. If the king finds displeasure in you, I will not act twice to dispatch you myself. I say this out of respect, not as a threat."
And Mud, out of respect, tries not to laugh.
Roll stealth. I want to see how well you hide this laugh.
No.
13 plus 2, 15.
That works. You had to beat it. Had to beat a 10. He's pontificating. He's definitely full of himself. He doesn't notice, but he sits down and has this very arrogant posture. His legs are spread wide. He leans on one arm, and he's just kind of like, "My lord, please proceed." And you see Fafnir nod at his master of arms and goes, "My friends, we shall each ask a question and in turn receive an answer. We will do so until each of our sides is acquiesced to the answers. Out of respect and for revealing the Arkenstone, you may go first. Ask your question of the council."
I'll step out of the light.
No, don't step out of the light. Stay in the light. Just sort
I'll
of.
stand there.
Kieran leaves.
I wasn't sure if it was like,
Instant death.
Oh God. Whatever.
Who amongst you wishes to speak? Choose now. You guys good? Dawson?
We said, hang on a second.
Yep, we're hanging.
We live kind of in the country, so it's either gunshots or a car backfiring.
Yeah.
The other.
yeah, it sounded like a gun. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. You're all good.
Um,
Which among you wishes to speak? Any will do.
I feel I just want to put Mud on the spotlight because she'll just like boom, she'll get us there to the point.
As the
I got
champion.
you. I look at Kieran and I look at Yasin and I'm like, "Oh, me, okay." And I step forward. We wish to talk about making peace. We wish to become great allies for each other.
Well, your revealing of the Arkenstone champion is a great step forward in that direction. I can say that you can all consider yourselves an honorary part of our kingdom. And should things continue in this fashion, you will have the full trust of this council. And you see a lot of the dwarven lords like, yes, yeah, they're just kind of nodding. The only one who doesn't move is the Crow Lord, who just stares all of you down and doesn't know.
That's in my brain.
Again, he even if you did that, he wouldn't recognize the gesture per se.
Good to know. Cool.
This is something that only, and in like in Nar Shaddaa, this was considered a victory thing. All right. My lords, does any wish to ask a question? I would like to ask a question. And of course, the Crow Lord stands first. I am curious. What beyond peace brings you to our doorsteps? I see in your eyes, peace is not all there is. You have come with purpose. You have come here with a representative of Burke. You know much about what is happening.
Mud's just going to talk again because she's just there already. Peace can branch further than you think. Making friends with one or three becomes friends with many. We want to understand what is happening and perhaps bring peace to all. But my friends and I, and she doesn't even look back at them, she just starts blurting this out, goes, we are also here for more. We plan on saving the realms.
Oh, hold you, hold, boom, boom. You hear these banging of their chairs, and they're kind of, these stone gauntlets just kind of showing their excitement. This is a lively council session. And the Crow Lord, his eyes widens for a second and is surprised to hear you speak of the realms and of unifying them and bringing peace into what's happening. He goes, this is a noble pursuit. I applaud you, champion. And I withdraw further questions for now, my lord. And you see the Crow Lord sit. And King Fafnir looks at the group. You may ask your question now.
The Mud knows like half the conversation that happened, correct?
Give or take, yeah. Kieran knows the full everything. Yasin knows nothing of the conversation, but was just keen to be there to assist his friends and like, y'all are doing sneak shit? Cool, me too. And it was just they're a part of that.
So I guess spotlights on Kieran.
I can step up if you would like.
Please.
I will bow my head to you and just step back, not out of the light,
Yeah.
but I want to step back.
Mhm.
Right, so I'll kind of step forward just ever so slightly. And I'll just not necessarily posing it as a question, just presenting it to the council. I'll just kind of say, the tree Yggdrasil. I would love to know.
You just hear them all start to bang their chairs in excitement.
I have heard tales of it, but I would love to hear its evident importance to you all.
Yes. I can tell you the tale myself. And you see the king rise. The tree, Yggdrasil, is guarded by... Oh, hang on, I got my notes here somewhere. It's deep in my notes. The tree Yggdrasil is guarded by the world serpent known as Jormunkander. Now, we believe this serpent to be an ancient dragon guarding the only way to the realm of Thonrar. While we know the legends that its roots connect all of the realms together, the presence of such a large creature hails a more significant importance, a way to get to the heavens, and as such, a way to access Thonrar himself. We too wish to end this cataclysm happening to the realms. Many on the council around you are not from my kingdom, but hail from others. from the mines of Moria, from the lands of Faerun. There are many here who are considered refugees. Their realms destroyed. If we can heal their lands, I will do so. Does this answer your question, Master Artificer?
Impartial. I have seen Thanrar.
Again, banging around the group, but also you hear their voices raising up, going, "Oh, what? Really? I cannot believe such a thing."
I have spoken to him. I have followed his nature, and this is what it got me. We have a torn. Go ahead.
Immediately, as you kind of make note of this half of your body, the banging stops, and all of the dwarves just stare at you, and their eyes grow wide. And the king, his eyes soften towards you, and he nods knowingly as you continue.
There has been sacrifice from our group in order to search and discover truth. And we have yet to find it. As it comes to this Thonis or Thanrar or Thankal, as we may know him, there is some certainty that there is something behind him that we don't understand. And I feel that you too wish to understand it.
My boy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Continue. Okay.
I was going to say, my final question, knowing our journey, what has Thonis brought upon your people that brings such a campaign and a conquest as this?
There is a hush that falls over the lords. And even the Crow Lord pales at your question. And the king takes a moment to compose himself before speaking. Master Artificer, I will answer your question if you answer this one first. And take heed to answer truthfully in my presence. Would the three of you be considered champions of Thonis?
He knows.
I'm going to step forward if Kieran doesn't have anything immediate to say.
I have something to say, but I'm not going to say it immediately. If you would like to step in, go for it.
Okay. We may have once been champions of Thonis or Sonra, but have also taken our own path, trying to understand the complexity of what he is.
Do you have anything to add, Karen?
To be honest, we are here on a mission of his to find artifacts. And if you believe us to be fully aligned with this force, then you should also know that we did not return to him with those artifacts twice because we had our concerns. And if that isn't proof that we once were champions and now are on our own quest, and I'll kind of pull the trump card and do the astral projection of the scene at the beginning where I've seen my time and my friends dying.
Yeah.
just kind of like showcase the reason why is that we are trying to unwrite a history that leads to only destruction. And I'll kind of show that scene.
There's an audible gasp from all of the lords around this hall as they watch the scene play where Grim dies, where Mud dies, and others, to the Night Mother, and to this giant creature in the background that stands 30 feet tall and glistens with the power of the purple gems around the chamber. This Night Walker. And you see not Thonrar. You see King Fafnir, thank you. You see King Fafnir sort of
Fappy.
reach a gauntlet out and point, and his hand shakes. You have seen the devil, son, and he's right there. That creature, the Night Walker in the background, that monolithic beast, he is Thonrar. That is your Thonis there. At the end of time, killing his champions so that his own will can be enacted upon the cosmos. You have seen it, Master Artificer. You have watched your friends die in one time to serve his will. I ask another question of you. Has he chosen other champions now that you've fallen out of his will?
He has.
Mud's gonna step forward and point at the Night Mother.
Yep.
Within the vision. Be like, she's your real villain. I know that is a beast, but she was the one controlling it. Our friend became her to save us all. And if we could get her back, maybe he doesn't have to become this.
Your friend is the Night Mother. Corrupted, cursed, yes. Do you not see, child, all of you, that this is all played out to his will? Do you know the story of the Night Mother? Who she really is? And I can tell you don't. Or what your friend became would weigh more heavily upon you. They call her the Night Mother because she is the bringer of night, the mother of darkness. As Thonrar is a creature of the dark, a dragon born into darkness, of darkness, seeking darkness. Now we as dwarves understand the dark, and as such understand the power of light. It is why these stones fill our halls, as a way to bring the light into the dark, to give us the power to banish the dark. Thonis used your friend to resurrect his mother, to give birth to his people once again. If we are to save her, if there is even a chance, he must die. We must siege his realm, weaken and kill him, and break his hold upon the cosmos. That is our war. And that is what the dragons across the seas wish to stop now. They worship a false god, a demon, because he shares their skin. I do not wish to kill them, but I will to save my people.
Kieran's gonna kind of jump in real quick and be like, then let us become not champions of this Thaunis. Let us become your champions. Let
And
us go.
around the room, you hear as you say this, just this thumping and clanking, and the lords are going, yeah, yes, champions of King Fafnir.
Mud's gonna start like, pounding her chest in rhythm with them, and just as an affirmation to that.
You see
You're
the
gonna kind of-
roll persuasion with advantage on
me?
on your chest thumping.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
You watch as Kieran speaks these words, as the crowd, the dwarven lords start to react, and you start to beat your chest as you would in the arena. You watch all the lords time their fists with you, and even the Crow Lord stands and beats his chest in time with yours, and you see the entire chamber reverberate with one sound and one call. Champions, champions, champions.
Mud's going to stand forward and yell as she would in the arena, because she's getting excited about things. Then let us not have this war. Let us be your peace brokers. Let us be your champions, and maybe no one will have to die.
Fafnir raises his hand to quiet the room. He brings his hands low. And from this moment forth, Admiral Yasin, Champion Mud, Master Artificer Kieran, you are all known now as the right hand of Fafnir. And as my right hand, this kingdom will answer to you, second only to me. With the blessing of this chamber, you will speak our words. You will broker our peace. And by our combined hand, we will save the realms with the death of Thonrar. And as they cheer your names, we cut to the Isle of Dragons. As Keladri, Estrella, and Grim make their way into a chamber filled with full-fledged dragons, dragonborn, and lizard folk, all in various positions around the room. And hang on. As you enter, the queen motions to all of you. My fellow lords and ladies on the council, I bring before you these champions of Thaunis, or Thonrar, as we call him here. Keladri, Estrella, and Grim. Ladies, we wish to hear from you. Tell us of Thaunis. Speak to this council the words you spoke to me, so that all may hear of our God.
Keladri was the speaker.
I've never actually met Faunus.
Oh, true.
Estrella, you were
haven't
the
been
one
there.
who kind of you watch as the queen makes eye contact with you, Estrella, since you were the one who conveyed the story to her.
Yep.
And she kind of motions with her head for you to speak to the dragons.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, so I'll tell them how we came to meet Thonis. I'll tell them how we brought our group together to be his champions. And how he tasked us with saving the realms. And and I'll make it sound really pretty because I know how much they love them. And I'll ask for their support.
You look as around the room, you see some of the larger dragons start to flap their wings slowly and undulate with it. And the dragonborn, those who have wings among their kind, start to flap in unison. And you see a smile spread across the queen's face as she understands what this flapping means. And she looks at you and she goes, "Well said, Estrella. Thank you for sharing your words. The dragons here, they believe you. So I call to all of you, my dragon kind, those who are of the old world, the dragonborn from the realms of Faerun, and our lizard friends. These champions of Faunus understand that our God meant only peace when he sent them into the realms, to find and use vessels of his power to separate us and heal the wounds in our lands. As you all know, the original dragons came from darkness, but it was their breath that brought forth the first light into the world." And you watch them beat their wings harder at her words. And out of that light came creation. And while the first ones may have dwelled in the dark, they gave birth to that light that we now live in.
I figured it out one.
It is in that light that we seek to go back to our God, to merge his power with ours, and to save these realms. My friends, we are all in agreement that these three shall become our champions. We will send them to the tree of Yggdrasil to speak our words and to pave a path to God that will lead us all to the lights.
Is there music?
Oh, you don't hear the music? Oh.
No, I could tell it away. Oh, the misery when you did that part. I was like, I know what you're doing it to, but I don't.